Hello and welcome to episode number 62 of the Knitting Teaspoon podcast. I'm Liesbeth, your host, and this is a podcast which is all about knitting, sewing, crochet, spinning, basically all of the fiber crafts that I feel like. It's been a while. There's a few reasons for that. In the last episode that I did record, I mentioned that my cousin just passed away from breast cancer, and that made me feel quite down. In the same week, I also got the news that my contract for my job wouldn't be renewed, so I also lost my job. And, I just needed a little break from everything, basically. So I also haven't really felt like crafting, which also makes it difficult to want to talk about what you've been up to if you've basically been up to nothing. That took about 3 weeks, and then my boyfriend and I decided to take a little break, and we went to Austria to have a small holiday, which explained the last 2 weekends that I was away. There we are, and we're here today, and basically I'm doing fine at the moment, but I'm just feeling a bit out of it. So it's been a while since I've been recording, and I will probably notice it even more in editing that this is something that I haven't done in a while, so bear with me. But thank you so much for joining me. It really means a lot, and let's get into the regular podcast content. So today I am wearing my Rosa shirt dress. This is a pattern by Tilly and the Buttons, and I have an almost identical shirt. So that's just a button-down shirt that comes to about waist length, and this one, it comes about to my knees. And for those of you who are long-term viewers and are really beady-eyed, my dress has a white inner color and the shirt has a blue one, so you could see it if you really wanted to, but honestly I don't think you are likely to put such attention to details, or maybe you could see this bit because it's a bit nicer on my shirt. Anyway, this also explains a bit why I don't like applying for a new job, because I like to point out the bits that are not as neat in my work, and I'm much better at pointing at my weak points than pointing at my stronger points, I guess. So yeah, anyway, it's a bit stressful, but I will find a new job or something else to do with my time, so that's about my job. I must say that I was planning on finding another job because I did not really like my job all that well. So in that sense, it's not all that bad that my contract wasn't renewed, but I did really like my colleagues. So that's just, your social group is suddenly limited because you're losing a job, and that's strange and not very nice. Anyway, so let's get into what I've been up to. And you guys, the main thing that I've been up to has been spinning. I have really knitted very few stitches over the past 2 weeks, but I will start with my weaving project because I don't think this was finished the last time I showed you. I think I was planning on making this a lot longer than it turned out to be. I'm not really sure what to do with the tassels. They're a bit long. I probably want to trim them at some point. But yeah, this is what it turned out like. So I was warping with the pink and the white, and then I ran out of the pink and the white, so I continued with some red. I found some more white, and I had a few leftovers of the pink as well, so I did make a few stripes with a little bit of those colors, but I thought this would be a project that would be way longer than it is, but then I ran out of the colors for the weft, the bit that you weave through the setup warp. So when you're setting up a weaving project, you basically make all the vertical lines in the beginning, and then you start weaving the horizontal lines through that. And yeah, I just completely underestimated the amount of yarn that I would need to make a certain length. So I probably could have woven a bit longer than I did. So I have a lot of leftovers which I can now use as ties for when I'm dyeing, which I also haven't been doing because it's been so incredibly hot here in the Netherlands. The past few days we broke records. It's been over 40 degrees Celsius for the first time, and I don't know exactly what it is in Fahrenheit, but I know that body temperature is 37 degrees, so 40 degrees is slightly above that, so I'm going to guess that it's about 105 or 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And you guys, I don't go well with heat. So I've been just sitting down in a chair because the couch was too sticky and basically doing nothing and just sweating. So I haven't felt very crafty in the past few days, but yesterday at like 5:30 in the afternoon there was this amazing bit of thunderstorm, and within 10 minutes it cooled down like 10 degrees Celsius, so it was finally doable a bit. So I just went outside and stood on my balcony and was like, finally I can breathe again. Anyway, and that's just me coping with heat. I can't, I really can't. So yeah, let's get into what I've been spinning, because I think all of the other projects that I want to share with you at least involve spinning. I do think I may have knit a few stitches on some projects, and I may also have crocheted a few rows on my Sophie's Universe blanket, but honestly I should look back at the previous episode to find out where I was at that point. But I haven't. So I don't know, and I feel like if I showed every small bit that I've been doing, then it would be a very long episode. So I'm not doing that today. So the first project is a project that I've been spinning with some amazing colorful yarn, or fiber actually, by Spin City UK, and they made the colorway Highlighter Rainbow. And here is a 2-ply yarn that I got from that, and I also have a bit of 3-ply. So I was initially planning to make it a 3-ply. So here is the bits of 3-ply. This doesn't look like much, but that's because it's attached to a knitting project, which I will show you in a minute. This was an interesting project, so I decided to divide the yarn and do some fractal spinning. Now, for those of you who are not spinners, you may not know what that means, but basically it means that you split one yarn into thinner bits. So say you have a fiber that's this wide and you have a color repeat going in this direction. If you split it in two and then put those bits behind each other, then you will have the color repeat twice in a certain piece. So in a part of this this skein, I split it so that I would have 16 times the color repeat, and in the other 2 plies I would only have 4 times the color repeat. But then one time the color repeat would be going from the red to the purple in a rainbow, and the other time I would be spinning the opposite way, so they would ply against each other. So I thought that would be a fun effect, and I think you can best see it when it's in the project that I've been knitting out of it. And I decided to make some socks. I think I had around 240 meters of this 3-ply yarn, which I'm quite happy about, and it's about 75 grams of the yarn, and I had 100 grams in total. So I'm not really sure, but this 2-ply is the leftovers, because 2 out of the 3 plies, they were significantly longer than the other ply, and I just feel like I must have missed a quarter in one of the plies. I don't know, maybe I lost a bit of fiber, but then again that doesn't make sense because the weight seems to add up. But yeah, here are the socks that I've knit out of them. They are not matchy because that's never going to happen with handspun, I believe, or at least not with this kind of spinning, but they are close enough. I mean, you can see that they're sisters, I think. So I'm past the heels. I'm knitting them 2 at a time, and I honestly don't know why I'm doing that, because I feel like knitting 2 at a time socks is really tedious. I'm constantly kind of fighting the cable to move in the right direction through the socks. I think I typically knit a lot faster when I knit 1 at a time socks. But I think the reason why is that I did have a long cable, and that my short cables are somewhere hidden in other projects, and I don't know exactly where. So yeah, I do think I know where, but I always forget to take them from those projects. Anyway, so yeah, I'm knitting them 2 at a time, and I'm almost done, as you can see, because these cakes, they were pretty full, and they're definitely not very full anymore, so there will be just a few color transitions left. And I really like the way that this 3-ply has these bits where all the colors seem to get together. So this seems like a very nice green yellowish bit out of the yarn, and they also have these bits where I have just like a pink, an orange and a green ply together, so they are very barber-pole at some points, and at some points it just evens out a lot, and then all the colors just happen to fall together, which I think creates a very nice effect. So I'm very happy with these socks. They're coming along just nicely and slowly because you guys, the weather. Anyway, so then there's a next spinning project, and I started this when I was still at home, but I took my spinning wheel with me when I went to Austria. So basically my boyfriend went to Austria 1 week before me because he had a tour with his concert group there. So he plays in an orchestra, he plays the trumpet, and yeah, they went to Austria to have some concerts there. And I traveled after him, so I had to travel all the way by car by myself, which I don't really like. It's not that I can't drive, it's just 10 hours of driving in one day is a bit too much. So I did take the Ravelry road trip planner, and I found a nice spot somewhere halfway and had a hotel for one night there. And then the next day I traveled to where my boyfriend was and picked him up, and he drove us to our final holiday destination. But because I went by car, which he liked because he had his instruments with him, I could take my spinning wheel. So I did. And I was already working on this yarn. I had one of the 2 plies already done. This is some fiber that I picked up at the Yarn Cake in Glasgow when my boyfriend and I went there in March for Edinburgh Yarn Festival and just general visiting Scotland, because you know, the Edinburgh Yarn Festival isn't in Glasgow, but in Edinburgh, as the name suggests. And I picked up this grey one in the same sort. I don't know, these teal ones, they were about 50 gram each, but I think this one must have been heavier because I don't think I spun it that much lighter, but this one is around 300 meters and this one is 200 meters. So yeah, that seems to be more than half the meter with just this one. So I don't know. It's not that my spinning is that even in general, but anyway. So I've been spinning on this during my holidays. I did have a little bit of an accident when spinning, or basically when transporting my spinning wheel to Austria, because my flyer broke. So this is a part of the spinning wheel, and the bobbins, they go on this bit while you're spinning, and this bit rotates like this, and this bit, because the yarn goes through here and through these hooks, it adds twist to your yarn, and then it winds it onto the bobbin, which can go at a different speed because it's not stuck on here. It can rotate at a slightly different speed. So one of these ends broke off on this side. This bit it broke from my spinning wheel, and I was very sad about that, especially because I found out when I unpacked my spinning wheel when I just got to Austria, and over there I didn't have any means to try and fix it. I did spin on it while I was in Austria, because basically to spin you only need one side with hooks and not necessarily the other side, but it got quite unbalanced, so it made a little bit more noise than I liked it to, and I was also a bit afraid of damaging my wheel even further, and this is my grandma's old spinning wheel, so yeah, I really want to keep it whole. But I managed to glue it when I got back home, and I don't think it's very visible actually. You may be able to see that it reflects some light and it's not as neat as the other side anymore, but basically it works just fine and it spins a lot nicer now, so I'm very happy that it's fixed again. So I don't think that this is the reason that I took my spindle with me as well, because of course I didn't plan on breaking my spinning wheel in transportation, but I also took a bit, well, I took my spindle with me. I think I have 3 spindles, but I'm not really sure where all of them are currently hanging out. I think one of them is at my parents' place and another one maybe at at my boyfriend's parents' place, so yeah, I'm a bit messy like that sometimes. But anyway, this is a drop spindle from Spin City UK once again. They also made the highlighter rainbow colorway, and the fiber is also from Spin City UK, and they were at Edinburgh Yarn Festival, so that's where the fiber came from, and also where I got this spindle. And I have made some progress on the drop spindling there as well. I also practiced a little bit on drop spindling in shorter bursts, because I used to always stand up and hold my spinning wheel up, or spindle up and drop it all the way to the floor, which makes you spin maybe 1.5 meters of yarn at a time. I doubt it actually that it's that long, but I've been spinning a lot from just a hotel bed. And just dropping it down and seeing how far I would get, and that would mean a lot more work for me, but I liked it, so it's fine. And I'm currently working on another spinning project, and now I don't know where the bobbin is. Here is the bobbin, so it goes on the flyer like this when I'm spinning, and then the end of the yarn goes through one of the hooks and through this hole here, and then comes out through here, so that makes it twist. And this is my current spinning project that I'm working on, and it is some Shetland fiber that I purchased from Stranded Dye Works. So maybe if you watch the Stranded podcast, you will know where this comes from, or if you've been shopping at her shop. I think it's quite a popular shop. So I had 3 of these braids of Shetland fiber, 100% Shetland fiber by Stranded Dye Works. Here's the logo, and yeah, I'm quite enjoying spinning this. So the first maybe meter or so of spinning this Shetland felt a bit weird. I think Shetland is a shorter staple fiber than most other fibers that I've been spinning with, so that took a bit of getting used to, but once I got going, I got going, and it was just very nice to work with. I think also when I start spinning a project, I can adjust the tension of my wheel a bit, and in the beginning it's often a bit of playing around to find the right tension for the project that you're working with, and it can vary strongly depending on the fiber that you're using, what's a nice tension to use. So yeah, there you go. Maybe it was just finding the right tension that was causing some problems, but yeah, I like what this is looking like, and I hope to be able to spin enough of this fiber to make me some kind of top, maybe a vest, maybe a short sleeve vest, I don't know. But I'm quite enjoying it. So I think the Tour de Fleece has been a major lifesaver for me. So in terms of depression, I set a goal to join the Gemma B Makes team for the Tour de Fleece, and that's an event in which spinners from around the world, they spin yarn while the Tour de France is going on. So there are cyclists cycling and spinners spinning their wheels or spindles. So yeah, setting that goal for myself really helped me to get back into crafting a bit, and I've really been enjoying that. Must say that I do really enjoy spinning, and at the moment that's basically all I've been doing. But one of the nice things about spinning is that you don't have much stuff in your lap, or you don't have to have much stuff in your lap going on, which is very nice if it's very warm. So once again, I don't cope well with heat. Anyway, I think that's all I had to share with you this week, and yeah, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you so much for your patience while I was on a bit of a hiatus, and yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I hope to be back next week.